I work right now. I'm a staff official of the parliamentary services of a small Austrian state parliament in Salzburg, state of Salzburg, and the reason why we know each other and why we talk today is because we used your method of wisdom councils within a special committee inside this parliament to bring about democracy reform. Now we see societies all around the world where public opinion seems to be awfully polarized, and there is no middle way anymore. There's very white, very black, very right, very wrong, etc. How can dynamic facilitation or the wisdom council help to come to a common ground?
One strategy of talking and thinking is to try and bridge differences, try and talk across those differences, try and sit down together and share stories and feel into one another's story and try and bridge the differences. That's obviously a really good thing to do, but it's not what I think is called for in this case. What's called for in this case is where essentially the two different views turn their chairs and they sit shoulder to shoulder and they're looking together at the problem. And there's a facilitator there that makes sure, that helps, no matter what anybody says, they help assure that the caliber of what's happening is creative. So when somebody says, well, that's a stupid idea, I can't believe how dumb you are, the facilitator jumps in and says, you have a concern. Let me write that down on the list of concerns. Now, tell me what you think is an even better idea. Let's write that down on the list of solutions. So even though the guy is being obnoxious or trying to be, it isn't long before he realizes or she realizes that hey, we're getting somewhere. Even though I'm bubbling up with my usual judgments, they're turned into non-judgmental statements that anybody can hear, and they make sense, and we're trying together to work them through. So we get random people, randomly selected people. They walk in the door. They aren't given a bunch of guidelines to try and manage themselves. We're saying, no, you just go ahead and just talk. But the facilitator makes sure that each comment is now contributes to the group, and that each person is valued, and the group is making headway toward a unity of perspective.
I understand.
Empathy is a natural outcome. And more importantly, we all become oriented towards serving the whole. In other words, rather than me maximizing my special interest within the rules of the game, we shift out of that into, we're all here together to make sure that we serve society. We serve what's best for everybody. We find the answer that can best serve people. So if we do a random selection of citizens, for instance, and you don't get no refugees shows up, or no black people show up or something, it's okay, because the conversation, I mean, it's better if they do, but the conversation is really a different kind of conversation. We're not in the old conversation where if you aren't representative, you're kind of doomed, you know. We're in the conversation where everybody's trying to represent you anyway.
So there is no real reason to come up with anything else but the best solution for everybody.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.